Lychee. Okay, for real. The boba pearls in this place today are like next level. They have that perfect, cute chewiness. It's that bounce. You gotta try this taro blend. It's like a warm hug for your stomach before we dive into this.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
I'm busy trying to mentally prepare for what's in this stack. And I mean, just look at it. This isn't just paper. This is like the physical embodiment of chaos. It's a monument to physics violations.
Wow.
And just so much angst.
Oh, come on. Don't be so dramatic. This is the best part. We have our boba. We've got our homework from the Ordered Omnibus. A whole mountain of Marvel goodness from November 2003. And speaking of the channel, you will not believe who I saw.
Let me guess. The creator himself making another questionable life choice that will eventually translate into a 3-hour reading assignment for us.
Exactly. I saw him again at the local game store. He was buying the new Mistborn card game. I almost went over and said something, but I didn't want to be that fan. But it totally proves my point.
Which point is that?
That he gets it. If you're into complex fantasy magic systems, you appreciate structure and world building. So this reading order, it's not random. There's a plan, a grand design.
Or he just enjoys things that are needlessly complicated and require a 500-page rule book to understand.
Yeah.
Which, would explain a lot about this particular month of comics.
Well, anyway, we have a mission. To analyze the narrative logic, or the spectacular lack thereof in Captain America, Hulk, Iron Man, and the whole Spider-Man situation. Plus, we have to speed run everything else.
Before my brain short circuits and trying to reconcile it all. Yes.
Let's do it. Yada. I am so ready for this. And honestly, looking at this stack, I see so much potential. High stakes, betrayals, and some seriously sugoi art. But before we get to the books themselves, can we talk about the guy behind the curtain, the Between the Panels segment this week? It was all about Joe Quesada.
Ah, yes, the architect.
Yeah.
Or as I like to think of him, the foreman of the reality assembly line.
Visionary, they call him a visionary, and I don't totally see it. He's the one who brought in all this cool, indie talent. He launched the Ultimate line. And he actually talks to the fans with his Cuppo Joe column.
Mm-hmm.
It just feels so much more connected, he's not just some guy in an office, he's one of us, but he has the keys to the kingdom. He's making comics that he wants to read, and he's kind of letting us in on the process. It's cool.
That is one way of looking at it, a very optimistic, very you-centric way of looking at it.
Oh, here we go.
Allow me to present an alternative theory. A conspiracy theory, if you will.
I'm listening.
The editor-in-chief isn't just a friendly fan with a column. He controls the entire narrative pipeline. He decides what counts as canon and what gets quietly forgotten. He holds a monopoly on the truth of the universe.
So what's the conspiracy? What's he doing with all this power?
It's the bias.
Okay.
It's always the bias. I'm telling you, the man has specific agendas. I think he's got it out for books like Ecstatics, and he's definitely pushing a very specific, let's restructure Spider-Man's entire life agenda.
Restructure it how?
To fit a certain mold. Look, when you're the EIC, you don't just approve stories. You control the physics of the world. If Joe Quesada decides tomorrow that gravity works sideways and Spider-Man is single again, well, that's what happens. That's not a visionary. That's a god king with a red pen.
You make him sound like Dr. Doom. He's just trying to make the books exciting again. And honestly, based on this stack, he's taking some huge swings. I mean, look at this first one. Captain America, Volume 4, number 17. Captain America lives again.
Lives again, right.
Yeah.
Because he's been on a long vacation up until now.
Okay, but the setup for this is genuinely wild. It takes his classic origin, right? The man out of time thing. Cap gets frozen in 1964. We all know that part.
A tale as old as time.
But this time, he doesn't wake up in an Avengers facility with a nice warm blanket. He wakes up on a submarine. And it is not a friendly submarine, it's a Nazi U-boat.
Of course it is. It's a rule. You can't unfreeze Captain America without a swastika appearing within a 10-foot radius. It's written down somewhere.
But it gets so much crazier. He wakes up, and it turns out the Nazis won World War II. The Red Skull is the Fuhrer of America, and they spell it with a K, which is just, so creepy.
So it's a classic what-if scenario that's being presented as a main continuity story. It's an effective hook, I'll grant you. Isolates the hero, raises the stakes.
Exactly. The emotional weight of it is just, wow. Imagine that. You go to sleep fighting for freedom, for democracy, and you wake up and it's all gone. Your whole world, your entire life's purpose just erased.
It's a psychological nightmare.
Definitely.
He's surrounded by enemies, he's confused, the Red Skull's there doing his whole creepy monologue thing, trying to recruit him, and Cap slowly pieces it together. He's in hell. His personal custom-built hell. Most people would just break.
Yeah.
You know, they'd just give up. But not Steve Rogers.
No, Steve Rogers does not give up. Steve Rogers apparently decides to ignore several fundamental laws of the universe. He escapes. And it's one of the most heroic things I've seen in a comic in ages. He's trapped in a skyscraper. The Red Skull is closing in, and he goes for it. He runs and he jumps right out the window.
Jumps out of a skyscraper window.
Yes. It's pure courage. He doesn't hesitate. He sees this Nazi Zeppelin floating outside and he just commits. It's that like shonen manga hero moment. I will survive because I have to.
Yeah.
It's so unbelievably sugoi. The art, the way the panels show the fall, it's amazing.
Hold on. Let's pause the Sugoi for 1 second.
Oh.
Let's talk about Sir Isaac Newton.
Oh no.
I understand the super soldier serum makes him strong and makes him fast. I get it. But does the list of ingredients include anti-gravity bones? Because I've checked the official handbooks. It does not.
It was his only way out. He was being heroic.
He jumps out of a skyscraper. He is a human being, more or less, and he will accelerate towards the ground at 90.8 meters per second squared. He reaches terminal velocity. For a person falling in that position, that's roughly, 120 miles per hour? Maybe more.
But he's aiming for the Zeppelin to like break his fall.
Right, the Zeppelin. Now, let's think about what a Zeppelin actually is. It is essentially a giant, rigid metal frame covered in a thin layer of fabric. A big, expensive, flammable balloon.
So it's like a big airbag.
No, it is the opposite of an airbag. Hitting a Zeppelin at 120 miles per hour is not a landing. It's an impact event. If he hits the metal frame, well, that's like hitting a brick wall. Every bone in his body shatters.
But what if he hits the fabric part?
Then he's a bullet, and the fabric is a napkin. He punches right through it. Best case scenario, he rips a hole in the balloon and then just keeps falling to the ground anyway.
Wow.
Worst case, he splatters against the internal structure. There is no version of this that ends with him heroically dusting himself off.
You're ruining it. He's Captain America. He knows how to, like, tuck and roll.
You cannot tuck and roll out of terminal velocity. That's not a thing. In the panel after that jump, he shouldn't be a hero looking for the French resistance. He should be meat paste. A patriotic red smear on the side of the Hindenburg.
Ugh. Meat paste.
I'm just saying, I can suspend my disbelief for a man who can punch tanks.
Oh.
I draw the line at him bouncing off dirigibles. It pulls me right out of the story. The physics violation is just too loud.
Well, I thought it was an incredible symbolic moment of defiance. But okay, fine. If you want to talk about suspending disbelief,
Yeah.
let's talk about the Spider-Man situation this week.
Yes. The Spider-Man situation, or as I've started calling it, the Great Marvel Nap Time of '03.
It is not a nap time. We're talking about the Spectacular Spider-Man, issue number 4, the Hunger storyline. And first off, the art. Humberto Ramos. I know his style is like divisive, but I love it. It's so energetic. The big feet, the huge eyes, the crazy poses. It feels like watching a really high budget anime. It's so dynamic.
It looks like every character is in a constant state of dislocating all of their joints at once, but fine. The art is distinct. I'll give you that. My problem isn't with the pictures. It's with the vast empty spaces between them.
There are no empty spaces. A ton of stuff happens. Venom is back, and he is on a rampage. And we find out the symbiote isn't just hungry for brains anymore. It's addicted to adrenaline. It's turned Eddie Brock into, like, an adrenaline junkie, and it's feeding off his fight or flight response. That's such a cool twist on the character.
Is it a cool twist? Or is it a really, really convenient excuse to stretch a single fight scene over an entire 22-page issue?
It's character development, and it leads to that insane climax. Spidey realizes he can't beat Venom physically, so he grabs a bus bar at a power station and fries himself.
Yes, he died.
He hits himself with, like, the script says 10 trillion volts of electricity just to overload the symbiote. It's brutal. The art is just crackling with energy. He's screaming. It's that pure shonen commitment. I will literally destroy myself to stop you.
And then after this,
Yeah.
10 trillion volt experience, which I feel obligated to point out would not just kill a person, but vaporize them instantly. Spider powers or no.
Right. He wakes up.
The Baxter Blue.
Yes, because Reed Richards saved him. Teamwork.
And this is where my theory about the sleeping cure comes in. Because while the pictures were very pretty and very loud, the pacing of the story put me into a state of near hibernation.
It's called decompression. It lets the story breathe.
It lets me go make a sandwich. I read this issue and the corresponding Amazing Spider-Man issue back to back, And I'm pretty sure I could have filed my taxes in the time it took for one plot point to advance.
But you get these great character moments, like finding out why Venom is acting this way.
We find out Venom wants a rush.
All right.
Okay, fine. But then we get my favorite part. The part that really highlights the lazy writing of it all. Spidey wakes up. He explains his half-baked adrenaline theory to Reed Richards, the smartest man on the planet. And Reed just happens to have an adrenaline blocker serum just flying around, ready to go.
He's Reed Richards. He probably has a serum for everything. Bad hair days, paper cuts.
It's convenient science. It's a plot device in a syringe. Oh, you have a problem with an adrenaline-sucking alien parasite. How fortunate. I just whipped up this anti-adrenaline-sucking alien parasite formula this morning. It feels completely unearned.
It's efficient storytelling.
It's lazy. And then, after all that, the big reveal at the very end. The stinger, Eddie Brock, has cancer.
Which was heartbreaking. It completely recontextualizes everything. The symbiote didn't leave him because it was evil. It left him because he was dying. It's tragic.
It is tragic. It's a genuinely good twist. But my question is, did we need an entire multi-issue decompressed slugfest of Venom jumping around like a caffeinated monkey to get to that one piece of information? I would argue no. You call it high-stakes action. I call it a 20-page fight scene that could have been an email.
You have a heart of stone, absolute stone.
I have a heart that appreciates narrative efficiency. And speaking of efficiency, we're not being very efficient. We have a massive stack of books left to clear. I'm looking at the list right now and I see gamma radiation, nanobots, and mutant drugs.
Oh, is it that time already?
It is that time. We need to clear the table.
Yada. The speed run, let's do it. I'll give you the emotional beat. You give me the quick, cynical verdict. You ready?
I was born ready for this. Let's go.
Okay, first up. The Incredible Hulk, Volume 2, number 60. Home base is trying to capture Bruce Banner, and this one guy dissolves Supervisor 4 with organic acid in his water bottle.
That's a clear workplace safety violation and an HR nightmare.
It was so disgusting. Like, ew. I had secondhand embarrassment in Hazikashi for the other guy who had to just watch his coworker melt, and then they send in the krill.
Right, the krill. Are we fighting crustaceans now?
Oh.
The branding for their Black Ops teams really needs some work. Also, boiling a guy in a sauna, just arrest Banner. It's so much simpler.
Next, The Invincible Iron Man, Volume 3, number 72, Vegas Bleeds Neon. Tony is in Vegas fighting this nanoplasm ooze that turns technology into, like, gross flesh.
The body horror on that one was significant.
It was so creepy. The ooze starts crawling on his armor, and he has to trigger the self-destruct again.
Which is a massive physics violation in itself. But more importantly, it's a fiscal horror story. Tony Stark blows up a multi-billion-dollar suit of armor, every other week? His insurance premiums must be higher than the GDP of most countries? It's irresponsible.
Okay, moving on. Supreme Power numbers 1 and 2. This is that Max Comics reboot of Squadron Supreme. It's super dark. Hyperion is raised by the government in a lab.
And we're meant to believe the government is competent enough to pull that off. That's the biggest piece of fiction in the entire book.
But it's so sad. This little baby raised in a box, no love, just scientists poking him. I was so happy they were actually showing the emotional damage that would cause. And then Nighthawk's parents are killed by racists right in front of him. It's really gritty stuff.
It's Watchmen-like, is what it is. My main issue is Project Hyperion. Your plan for the most powerful weapon on Earth is to, send him to public school to learn social skills. That's not a plan. That's a class action lawsuit waiting to happen.
Next up, Ultimate Spider-Man number 46, Sandman attacks the high school.
Finally, a problem that can be solved with basic geology.
It was total chaos, and I love the moment where Spidey teams up with the fire department to hose Sandman down and turn him into mud. Yada. Teamwork makes the dream work.
I have a continuity error to report.
Oh!
S.H.I.E.L.D. shows up. Sharon Carter's there. They're supposedly the most advanced intelligence agency on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
And their first question upon seeing the empty containment cell is, who is Flint Marko? Do they not have Google? Do they not keep files on their superpowered prisoners? How do you not know who the giant sand monster is?
Maybe his file got corrupted. Okay, the big one. This is huge. New X-Men, 146 and 147. The start of Planet X.
Let's go.
I can't even. Exorn is Magneto. The whole time, I actually screamed when I read it, the betrayal. He was their friend, their teacher, the nice, quiet guy with a star for a head, and then he just destroys the Brooklyn Bridge.
Too expensive. The property damage alone from that one act makes Magneto the single worst urban planner in modern history.
But that's not even my biggest problem with it.
What could be bigger than that? Kick. The drug.
Oh, right! The mutant power booster.
Yes, Magneto, the master of magnetism, the would-be savior of mutant kind, a man who can reverse the planet's polarity as will, is high
Yeah.
on a street drug. It just feels cheap. It undermines his entire ideology. Villains shouldn't need performance enhancers. It's beneath him.
It shows his desperation.
Oh,
Okay, switching over to some of the other books from the list. Wolverine, the end.
Now this I can get behind.
I was actually crying reading this. He's so old and his healing factor is failing. He says his claws hurt when they come out now. He's just so tired. It's heartbreaking.
Perfect. Finally, an old man who solves his problems with giant metal claws instead of just complaining. Arthritis doesn't stop adamantium. It's efficient. I respect it.
You are a monster. Okay, Thanos number 2.
Space. Nihilism. Big explosions.
He's just too scary the way he talks. He's just so calm about ending everything. It's unsettling.
It's a palate cleanser. Explosions are bigger in space. I respect the power levels. No angst, just cosmic dread. Refreshing.
Next, NYX number 2. The one about the mutant kids on the street in New York.
Hard pass.
What? Why? The art is so moody, the aesthetic is so gritty and real. It's about survival.
It's misery porn. I read comics for escapism. I came here for explosions and Zeppelins, not sad teenagers in dirty apartments. It violates the core principle. If I want to see people struggling to pay rent, I'll just, look out the window.
Or impossible. Okay, Punisher number 35.
Another palate cleanser.
It's a bit intense, don't you think?
It's simple ballistics, cause and effect. Frank Castle is the only person in this entire stack of books who appears to be doing his job effectively.
And last one, Runaways number 8.
The one where they never stop talking.
I love the found family dynamic. They're all learning to trust each other.
Talk less, fight more, secure the perimeter, kids. That's my advice.
Phew. Okay,
Yeah.
that was the stack. My brain is officially buzzing.
My brain is questioning the actuarial tables for property insurance in the greater New York metropolitan area.
But seriously, when you look at it all together, it is a lot. Cap is in a Nazi nightmare, Spider-Man is literally electrocuting himself, and Magneto is on drugs and destroying a major city. It's just so chaotic. But in a good way. Yurishi, I'm happy. The stakes feel higher than ever.
The stakes are definitely high, I will give you that. And while I maintain that Captain America should be a red puddle and Spider-Man's story needs a shot of espresso, I will concede that we technically met the monthly quota,
There's the quota.
the boobs and bombs quota.
Okay.
Between Black Cat's appearance, the general chaos, and Magneto blowing up a bridge, the fundamental requirements of the genre were in fact met, even if the physics were, let's say, suggestive.
You always find a way to boil it down to the most clinical terms, but I guess that's why we're a good team. I bring the heart, you bring the calculator and the physics textbook.
Someone has to check the math. It's a public service.
So after all that, what's the takeaway for you, the listener, in all of this?
Well, I think when you zoom out, you see a clear theme of escalation, of desperation. Everyone is pushing themselves to a new extreme. Cap makes an impossible jump. Spider-Man resorts to self-harm on a massive scale. Magneto turns to drugs to fuel his war.
They're all backed into a corner.
Exactly. Which brings me to the provocative thought I want to leave you with this week. With Magneto high on kick, destroying a city full of the very people he claims to be superior to, is he still a revolutionary fighting for a cause? Or is he just an addict with a really powerful magnetic field? At what point does the ideology just become an excuse for the high?
Wow.
And on a more practical note, given the sheer amount of weekly property damage we see in New X-Men, Iron Man, and pretty much every other book, why does anyone in the Marvel Universe have home insurance? Why would you even own property? It seems like a terrible investment.
I bet the real estate market is just a nightmare.
It has to be a scam. Do not buy a condo in the 616. Just rent, trust me.
Solid financial advice to end on. All right, everyone, thank you so much for digging into this absolute monster of a stack with us. November 2003 was a lot.
It was. And remember, the letter for this deep dive is D. We need to drive the dialogue. Dig in the dirt to defend the domain.
Yada. We'll see you next time for more Boba and more books.
All gone.
Time for a refill, Mike.